Wonderful, great, respected audience, sadhakas, Rishi Rupa, Bhagavad Rupa, you all are. Hearty invitations, welcome to you. Hearty salutations to the serious, sincere seeker in every one of you. Congratulations that you have chosen this spiritual path and are able to maintain the regularity and sincerity. And the gratitudes from the entire Guru Parampara, including the speaker here, that you are becoming the means for the continuation of sustenance of this Guru Parampara, Shastra Parampara, Tattva Jnana Prachara Parampara. The Sankalpa, the Dhrudha Nishchaya, and the prayers that this effort of ours of studying Shastras should continue at all costs and prices and efforts till not only we get redeemed of our own bondages, but the entire cosmos, entire universe of all beings also realize, recognize the truth and are freed from all the bondages, limitations. Maybe while walking the path spiritual, become instrument means in the hands of the divine, the Lord, for his mission of evolving entire Jiva Koti. Welcome. Remember the 13 Vyaktitvas. Just remember and see or send a Sankalpa ki each of these Vyaktitvas I'll become full in, complete in. Not even 97, 98, 99%, but 100%. Loka Seva Vyaktitva, Sanatana Dharma Samsthapana Vyaktitva, Viraga Vyaktitva, Bhakta Vyaktitva, Shishya Vyaktitva, Mumukshu Vyaktitva, Jignasu Vyaktitva, Shrotru Vyaktitva, Sadhaka Vyaktitva, Parishrami Vyaktitva, Prerana-युक्त व्यक्तित्व, शांत गंभीर युक्त व्यक्तित्व, last but not the least, the व्यक्तित्व of learning, knowing the Samskrita Bhasha, because all Shastras are in this most divine Bhasha. Then, who are the ones to help us in this regard? Yes, become conscious to remember the divinity expressing to help us in the form of Shruti Smriti Purana Itihasa Shastras. Again, remember the divinity expressing to guide us in the form of Guru Tattva, Guru Parampara, Swaguru, Swacharyas, and all Rishi Muni Ganas of the past, present, future. Again, the expression of divinity only to help us in the form of all Adhisthana Devatas to support all our faculties. Then the same divine is expressing as the most important aspect as Shakti commonly, which has three purposes, and our purpose is through the Shuddha Sattva Guna, knowing the truth. Let us remember, realize, recognize the divine presence again in the form of the Ishtadevata or the Ishvara, whose grace is so beautiful, so wanted. From his side, always he is ready to bless us with the best. Ourselves, let us attune to him in a best manner for the best blessings, for the bestest achievement. That the curtain is removed, then the divine is experienced. Last but not the least, the Parabrahma Tattva, all permeating, all pervaded, only asking us, waiting for us to discard all other identities and identify with it purely. In this case, what's required is about the nature of this Brahman, then the way of obtaining that Brahman. These informations, knowledges have to be very clear. For that only we are continuously studying the Upanishadic Shastras. So having remembered all those 13 Vyaktitwas to be developed, 6 sources to be tapped, let us begin our study of this most divine Shwethashwathara Upanishad from Sri Krishna Yajurvediya. Before the Upanishad's beginning of study and Bhashya, Bhashyakara Adi Shankara, without leaving any stone unturned, completely bringing our attention and understanding about what is the subject matter that is contained in the Upanishads, in this Upanishad also particularly. What is its importance? Why we have to study this Upanishad with the clarity what we are going to study, and with also the clarity that the need of that study and sadhana. है ना, क्या कर रहे हैं, उसका जरूरत फायदा क्या है. When these two are clear, what is done, what is the use of it, then only we do it. है ना, cooking, what is done, cooking, what is the need, a tasty food eaten for contentment and energy. What is done is a house is constructed for protecting ourselves from the heat and cold and rain. Same way, what is taught in the Upanishad is Brahmatmaikya Bodha. What for? For the moksha from the anatma, tadatmya. Now, once these two are clear, that in this Upanishad, this Brahmatmaikya Bodha is taught, and the purpose of it is final liberation from all limitations and bondages, then a choice is given to us. Do you want to pursue? With clarity of it, any common sensed person definitely will choose for this only. Narayana. And the one who lacks that common sense ability to think, he will not first of all understand what is Upanishad, what is contained in the Upanishad, what is the need of it. Therefore, he will be carried away by what was he doing from millions of lives. Correct? So, before the Upanishad actually is taken, this is how Bhagavan Adi Shankara trying his best. In that pursuit, he is kind enough to bring to our reference all Puranas, many Upanishadic sentences repeatedly. Latest, last 10 days, we are seeing the same truth being emphasized through the study of the ultimate authority on Jnanam and Shastra Jnanam, that is none other than, not less than, Brahma Sutras themselves. So, how attentive we are, how serious we are, how deep we are in our application, in our effort, determines how clear we are in the understanding. Further determines what decisions we take, what we pursue in our life. So wonderful is this Upanishad. Let us see it. Let us do our sankalpa and prarthana. Before that, let us spend some 10-12 minutes in our like every day in a contemplation, in a thinking of a common sense thought. Today's common sense thought is fully spiritual only. Narayana. भोगी बनने के इच्छा से, प्रयत्न से, we want to become and continue as a samsari. Option 1. योगी बनने की इच्छा से, becoming sadhaka. Option 2. Before jumping into any decisions and actions in our life, every moment, we have to discover, find, put ourselves in a Y road. You know, the Y road. You are going there, and then just you see a left road hota hai, right hota hai. Aage dead end. Only you have two ways, this way or this way. We have to put ourselves in the Y road every moment. At that junction of the Y road, always, obviously, there are the two paths taking us to two destinations. The left one or any side, path of bhoga taking us to become samsari. Second is what? Path of yoga making us sadhaka. Let us be very clear about it. And then decide at every junction what you are doing, what you want to do. Who is a bhogi samsari? He who, with the upadhis of anna prana mano buddhi, through the objects of the world and the intelligence in it, in trying to seek the happiness, what he does is he gives reality to the world also, he gives reality to his upadhis also, he continues himself to be the upadhi baddha jiva. And because from the ultimate standpoint, the bhogavastus and both upadhis are delusory, not real. Be attentive, not real, therefore, the achieving them also is not real, therefore, even though achieved, appears that not achieved. Like you walked the distance in trying to drink the water in that mirage. You walked that, but then really there is no water. Therefore, what happens? That mirage appears to be moving little further more. Marumarishika. Then what do we do? Acha, aur thoda aage hai. So let me go there. Then you go there. Definitely you walk that distance. But that water is not there. Therefore, again it appears to be little further. So what is happening? Imagining the water is there, that it can quench my thirst. Therefore, putting efforts and traveling that distance. Distance is traveled, but then that water is not achieved. Why? Because it is not there. So, in the Bhoga Marga, in the Samsara Marga, with through the things and beings, this Samsari, the Bhogi, wanting to achieve permanent Sukha and infinite Sukha, he walks that path. He definitely obtains that object or that person. He reached there. But then, that object and person, being themselves our imaginary projection, cannot give happiness, permanent, infinite, wanted. Therefore, Definitely he will be. Even after reaching and getting it, he is not satisfied. Like the example of mirage, then he looks onto some other object, some other person. Complete happiness, true happiness, continuous happiness, infinite happiness are not there in those things because they are not themselves actually real. They are appearance. They are getting modified. And even whatever temporary happiness came from them, it was reflection of Paramatma. Reflection of Paramatma Ananda in those expected things cannot be always there because those sources, whether it is things and beings, are our own upadhis through which we want to get that permanent continuous happiness is changing, it is modifying. Like the water is not steady in which the sun or moon are reflected. It is a reflected moon, first of all. Second is the water is muddy, water is disturbed. The reflected moon also disturbed or reflected, deflected. In the same way, the seeking happiness is from Paramatma through those upadhis. But the upadhi being not the same, changing, even that reflected happiness also is not continuous. And it can never be contentful because it is not real. And the water and the pot will break one day. Once broken, there is no even reflected happiness also. That is why the object or the person through whom we are getting reflected happiness, that object or person when goes away, leaves us and goes away. Even that reflected happiness also from that person doesn't come. Then what? We go for other object, other person. And in this chakra, the karma phala for that, janma marana, all of that is full put together is called bhogi, wanting to become bhogi and becoming samsari. What is samsara lakshana? Always drushti on some vastu or vyakti for the sukha prapti. So going on pursuing it, indulging in it, etc. ये भोगी samsari lakshana. One Y road. Y road में one road. The other thing is what? The yogi and sadhak. Who is a yogi? Yogi is instead of going to get or try to get the happiness in the anatma, not self, of the vastu or vyakti or upadhi, the one who is wanting to unite with the atma, which is already studied by him to be infinite, information level तक आ गए हो, to be of the nature of bliss. So अपने स्वरूप से दूर अनात्मा के द्वारा सुख पाना चाहता है भोगी, continues to be samsari because the basic thing itself is wrong there. Here in my own swarupa there is infinite ananda and the self being free from all limitations, that bondage also is not there. Let me pursue and identify with myself. He is called as yogi. So he is in the Adhyatmika sadhana. And in his Adhyatmika sadhanas, summary में देखा जाए, only four things that are basically mainly mentioned for us to do. So the sadhaka going in yoga marga or yogi doing sadhana. What he does? Only these four. Karma yoga, chitta vritti nirodha yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga. Isn't it? In karma yoga, what is he doing? Na? He using his upadhis and then working in the world. Actually is working. While working, he has no interest in the phala. He is not identified with the karma. He is doing it because he is supposed to do. He is not identifying with the karta. Therefore, the karta, karma, karma phala. These are all the inner impurities. And becoming karta, doing karma for karma phala. That sort of impurities are removed through the first of the four yogas, the karma yoga. We can consciously feel it. We can do the work in the world in the karma yoga spirit, in which these are the definitions. Then we realize we can really become pure inside within ourselves by finishing our duties, that I need not become karta, I need not depend on or bound by the karma, I need not depend on karma phala. That recognizing inside is called the purity. Impurities, karma phala is required, but that karma has to be done, and I am a karta. From many lives, this is what there. So, in the dharma or whatever we are supposed to do, we are doing it, but not as a karta, but the agent of Lord. So, kartrutva is not identified with. Karma also, we are doing it, and for his sake we are doing, and we are offering to him. So, the actual karma also not identified with. Next one, the phala, I am not doing it for phala. So, phala sakti, karma sakti, kartrutva sakti. These are all the antakarana impurities. They are tackled, they are removed through the process of karma yoga of physically and with our faculties working in the world without palapeksha, without kartrutva bhavana, and doing only those karmas which are prescribed. Then comes the second yoga marga of Ashtanga yoga, where chitta vrittis uncountable, millions of them. Okay, all of them are brought to minimum, brought to single pointed. This is the second yoga this yogi will do. Doing that is called sadhakatva. In that, whether it is abhyasa vairagya sadhana, whether it is tapaswadhyayeshwara pranidhana kriya yoga sadhana, whether it is yamanyamasana pranayama pratyahara dharana dhyana samadhi sadhana. In that all, what is happening? By removing the inner karmashaya or vasanas, we are studying the same subject in the Kaivalya path. By removing the vasanas, the karmashayas, we are reducing the vrittis that are happening in our chitta. Otherwise, the chitta vrittis keep on coming. We are forced to identify with them. Like when you are in your house, you are all alone with yourself. But one by one, when guests come, isn't it? With each guest, you have to identify and do. You have to become some of the related person. सो तो बेटा बेटी आए तो माता पिता बनना बनेगा, ब्रदर आए तो भाई बनना पड़ेगा, है ना। ससुर ससुराल ससुर सासू माँ आए, सो देन दामाद या बहू बनना पड़ेगा. Isn't it? One by one coming, you have to become one by one. Isn't it? Continuously. If nobody is there, you are with yourself. So too, because of the eternal endless vasanas, means so many vasana gathered from so many lives, the vrittis are coming in chitta, forcing us to identify with. By reducing the vasanas, karmashayas, the flow of vrittis of the chitta is reduced, because of which our need to identify with the vritti and then again work outside, they are all minimized. That is the meaning of yoga chitta vritti nirodha. When the chitta vrittis get reduced, I need not identify with so many vrittis and become something other than my essential self. In this way, the chitta vritti nirodha is achieved by a yogi. See that beautiful state that there is no vasanas, There is no compelling vrittis. So there are no so much of identity of myself with that vritti and taking that particular shape or identity. Like for example, that Maharaj has taken sannyas and gone somewhere. No, in his mind, no, is a sannyasi, sadhaka. So no relativity. He will not become so many things, as we just now said. And the fatherhood and corresponding responsibilities, or the brotherhood or corresponding responsibility. All of them are samsara only. If you are in samsara, you do that. That was already said, prayo marga. In the Y road, the left one. We left the left one, no? We have taken the right. So we have to discuss this only. So in this, that all impurities of chitta or vasanas are removed so that the vrittis are reduced. To that extent, I needing to become again and again something that is reduced. That is called as yoga sadhana and its phala. Then we do the third one as a yogi, third sadhana of bhakti yoga. In that bhakti yoga, all our upadhis of sharira, indriya, prana, mana, buddhi, aham also. From what samashti source they came. After given to us, identifying with them, we became an isolated, separated individual samsari. All these upadhis are tera tujhko arpan, kya lage mera. Consciously, whether it is Karma Yoga done, Yoga Ashtanga done, or the Bhakti Yoga, जान कर जान बूझ कर करना है, knowing and consciously. So like I am doing the puja. In that puja, what I am doing? This is Sharira and Prana, Indriya, Mana, which are given to me by the Lord. I am offering them with all their capacities by doing His own puja. तो मेरे सारे उपाधियां उनको अर्पण करना, है ना? तन मन धन सब कुछ है तेरा, तेरा तुझको अर्पण. Correct definition. Whoever has written that arti there. All the upadhis are yours. I am offering to them. तेरा तुझको अर्पण. क्या लागे मेरा? It is not a sentimental feeling. भगवान जब तक आरती करते हो सब आपका, बाद में फिर मेरे को दे देना. फिर लेके जाऊंगा then to become samsari. ना. Every day in that upasana, consciously that practice of offering all our upadhis to Him. Why, how they are done? First, whatever the abilities, functionalities are there in them, those functionality abilities are used in serving Him only, the Lord. To be more specific, He is taken as Rama or Krishna or Ganapati or Devi. It is that Paramatma only, that Ishvara only, who is the wielder of Maya. And that Maya only, in the Samishti, the whole Brahmanda, in the Vyashti, our own Upadhis. ये सारे उपाधियां क्या है? उस प्रभु के माया से ही बने हुए. इनको पकड़कर I was suffering as जीवा. Now I am offering this to him. तेरा तुझको अर्पण, क्या लागे मेरा. So the mana, the prema aspect of the mana, buddhi, the vicharana aspect of it, indriyas, the perception, sharira, its ability to work, सारे उन प्रभु के लिए करते हुए. And here the predominant is Bhagavan, predominant is doing to Bhagavan, predominant thought is while doing, all faculties are offered to Bhagavan. In the Karma Yoga, our attention was on faculties and in the action to be done. Then the phala we are giving up to Ishvara, on Ishvara. The drushti is less during Karma Yoga. Drushti is more on karma. In the Upasana, drushti is more on Ishvara, again with the clarity that he is the one who has given these upadhis. I am offering it to him. That is why toward the end, कायेन वाचा मनसा इंद्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्या आत्मना वा प्रकृतेः स्वभावात् करोमि यद्य सकलं परस्मै नारायणाय इति समर्पयामि. See, karomi yadya sakalam. In this 1 hour of puja, whatever I have done, I am now offering it to the God. I have done for Him only, and all of that also I am offering to Him. In this doing consciously, now, the tadatmya with these upadhis, that they are mine and they are to be used for me, and through them I have to get the bhoga. These are all thoughts of Jiva only, na? All of them are reduced. In short, the feeling of a devotee is my outer existence is for Paramatma. My all doings are for Paramatma. With all upadhis, and upadhis also offered to him. Like the servants come to our house. With all the things that are there in our own house, they do all the works. तो झाड़ू लेंगे, तो पोछा का कपड़ा लेंगे, या बर्तन मांजने का साबुन ले लेंगे. Everything they do, whatever work to be done. But while going, they don't take anything. सब छोड़ कर ही जाते. खाली हाथ आए, सब अपने लिए हमारे लिए घर में सब किया चले गए. In the same way, all these faculties are yours. You gave me. I am doing whatever you told me to do for your sake through these things. Then the thing done also is given to you. The karma, the instruments that are used also are given to you. And the washed utensil, then the washed soap, washed scrubber. All are left by the servants to the owner. They go empty hand. Washed clothes, washed detergent, and the brush, whatever used. Cleaned room, used jhadu or pocha. Everything. They are instruments, and that is the karma. And they did it for us. Who gave them salary or whatever. Isn't it? So Bhagavan has given us the life. He has given all these faculties. So with these, we are doing everything as told by Him for Him. Like the servants do as told by us and for us. So a bhakta is sevaka of Bhagavan, dasa of Bhagavan. That's why all the bhaktas are dasa, dasa, dasa. Kali dasa, Purandara dasa, Sura dasa, Kabira dasa, Tulasi dasa, Rama dasa, सूरदास ऑल दो करेक्ट अंडरस्टैंडिंग इट इज इन दास में क्या होता है ना all our faculties abilities given by him are used only for him not for me. It is 100% attitude practiced. The best example is the cooks who come to our house. All other examples are the best, but this is a little more best. You tell them 5 आइटम बनाओ पूरा बना के माजी खाता हो गया काम चले आते. They don't take the sabji, dal and all, chawal jo bana. Not even they touch it. Because they have done it for us. We are the owner. So too, Bhakta अपना नामक कुछ नहीं रखता. हाँ, if that owner says, चलो 4 रोटी तुम भी ले जाओ, थोड़ा एक सब्जी, they will take. Or the salary is given, that is enough for them. So too, for जीवन के लिए जो दिया भगवान ने, वो आ जाता है योगक्षेमम वहाँ में. Attention is not there on that. Attention is not on the thing that I have to be alive. I have to alive to get something for my own self as my goal and I work for it. ऐसा कुछ नहीं रहता भक्त को. वो जिसको होता है उसको जीवा कहते हैं, संसारी. For the bhakta, Bhagavan alone is the one to be worshipped through all faculties. That's the only goal. He has nothing to gain. A servant has nothing to gain. A das ko, let's say dasyam sakyam atmanvedram, or dasya bhave, all offered. Hanumanji, das, Ramadas. This is what is the third yoga. More details you all know, you have heard it and all. बस दिमाग लगा के उन सारे पॉइंट्स को एक जगह लाकर उसको सोचकर क्लियरली समझना है. दिस एक्सरसाइज वी हैव टू स्टार्ट. दिस इज हाउ द थर्ड योगा थ्रू विच तेरा तुझको अर्पण डन. Now, when all my faculties are offered to God, they are not mine. Then who am I? That is called Jnana Yoga. So, in that Jnana Yoga, we just identify ourselves with our real self. That's it. And that real self is what is said in the Upanishads about Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma Sachidanandam Brahma. And in present Upanishad, what we are studying, Pragnapti Matra Ekamevadvaya Brahma. In Jnana Marga, we identify with that. That is called as yogis, final sadhana and final destination to reach. So, Vairod, Bhogi to become samsari. Other one, yogi, become sadhaka, do sadhana of all four yogas and reach the sadhya. That I am that Brahman. That state is called as Siddhi. Yoga is Siddha Purusha Yoga. Succeeded. Now, who are you? I am the self. Are you functioning through faculties? Yeah, not only these, all faculties. I only am working. व्यष्टि में समष्टि में कोई पशु पक्षी हो पेड़ पौधा हो, I am the self who is working through all of them, or that one self which is working in and through all of them, that is me, that actual me. This functional individuality working through every faculty is not me, it is only functional. So the electricity telling itself, I am the common electricity in all electrical equipments, and I am not the specific expression of my own self in each of the faculty or equipments. And I am not the light in the bulb. Because of me only the light. I am not movement in the fan. Because of me only movement. They are all upadhiyukta conditional expressions. They are there, but I am not them. I am one common denominator behind millions of electrical equipments. Equipments are many, their functions are different, and in each of the functional things, again, there are differences in terms of ज़्यादा कम है ना. 0 watt bulb less light, 60 ज़्यादा, 100 और ज़्यादा, 10,000 100 और ज़्यादा. That also उपाधि के कारण है. I am not 10,000 or 1,000 or 100 or 60 or 0. I am not measured in those quantity, that's all. Quantities. Same way, fan. 2 नंबर, 3 नंबर, 6 नंबर. 2 नंबर कम घूमेगा, 6 नंबर मैक्सिमम घूमेगा. तो आई एम ओनली योर electricity has nothing to do with those quantities of big movements, fast movement or slow movement. First of all, I have nothing to do with the movement of the fan. Then, how can I have anything to identify with the speed or slowness of? So, too, the heat of the heater, the cooling effect of the cooler, or the freezing effect of the freezer. What is the electricity's identity? I am other than them. In the same way, at the Siddha Sthiti through the Jnana Yoga Marga, we identify with that self. About that self, to get clear intellectual understanding only, we are doing the Upanishad Adhyayana. Only Upanishads talk exclusively about that Brahman. No other things Upanishad talks. And other Shastras of Shruti, Smriti, Purana, Itihasa, they talk less about that Brahman, more about the Karana Brahma, the Upadhyukta Ishvara. In the Upadhyukta Ishvara, the samsaric bhogas can be easily attained, not moksha. For the moksha, the Nirupadhika Brahma and not upasana, but identification is required. So, this is how we have to stand on a by road every moment, check within ourselves where I am going, where I have to go. हर पल हमको इसी पे ध्यान में रहना. दिस इज द गिफ्ट वी हैव टू गिव टू आवर सेल्स. स्लोली स्लोली प्रिपेयर करके. Like at this moment, I am in the contemplation of this self. But the very next moment, some thought in the mind or demand in the indriya take me towards any object. That thought, the moment comes, अरे अंदर थॉट संकल्प आया भोगी एंड संसारी बनने को, बट मुझे तो योगी एंड साधक बनना है. Therefore withdrawn from that. Like yesterday what Vasishtha ji said, tavat tavat paurusham prakurvita. We have to go on doing the paurusham till that yavat yamat praktana paurusha shamyati. Isn't it? Through the adyatana paurusha done continuously, the praktana paurusha is made quieted. So too, through the continuous practice of yogi sadhaka, from that bhogi samsari, you have to totally withdraw. Like when you come to class, you withdraw from samsara and seated. Again, come in the afternoon class, also you are withdrawn from the samsara or and with the truth. And again come to the evening class. So 3 times you are doing it. Withdrawing from the world and becoming spiritual. Now do it more in between the classes also. So the whole day, all our activities are yogi sadhana. Reduction in bhogi samsari. Zero kar dena usko. Because we understood only samsara. Why should we go? But to understand all it, the other relations, the objects in the world, all of that is mithya, kalpita. It is not real. ये background knowledge important. If that background knowledge is not there, instead of that, the world is real, people are real, relativity is real, the sukha dukkha through them is real. If these notions, if these delusions are strong, then this subject or this discussion doesn't work in that person. That you have to be yogi through sadhana, not a bhogi through samsara or samsari through bhog. तो बैकग्राउंड क्या है बहुत जरूरी है. इसलिए विवेक फर्स्ट स्टेप. व्हाट इज इट? ब्रह्म सत्यम जगन मिथ्या इज विवेक. एवं रूपो विनिश्चयः सह अयं नित्यानित्य विवेकः परिगण्यते. See, the first step only most important step. If Jagat Satyam Brahma Mithya, if in that motion we are there, notion, then we never be a yogi to do sadhana. We are be only bhogi entering into samsara. Our attitude is Jagat Satyam Brahma Mithya. Brahmo Jiva Ivana Paraha. Anena Vedyam Dushastram. Iti Samsara Dindimaha. Not Vedanta Dindim. So clarity of all this will help us any day. Om 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 Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhetamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Vamsharashibhyo महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः. येदि मे गुरुवि पूर्वं पदवाक्य प्रमाणतः व्याख्याता सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं. शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्य कृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः. निधये सर्वविद्यानां विषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं. करुणावरुणालय मां भवसागरदुःखविदूनहृदं रचयाखिलदर्शनतत्त्वविदं भव शङ्करदेशिकमे शरणं. ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलम् अचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्तं ब्रह्मविद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदाचार्येभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। संकल्पः तेषां कृपया उपनिषदुक्तब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधेन मोक्षः सनातनधर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्ति विश्वध्यात्मिकप्रगति एकता शान्ति धर्मसंस्थापने कङ्कणबद्ध अस्माकं सह सर्वेषां निरन्तर आरोग्यादि द्वारा दिग्विजयार्थं कृष्णयजुर्वेदीय श्वेताश्वतर उपनिषदः आद्य शंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मोक्षार्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। ओम नित्यानंदं निराधारं निखिलाधारम् अव्ययं निगमाद्यगतं नित्यं नीलकंठं नमाम्यहम्। अथ प्रथमोऽध्यायः शान्तिमन्त्रः। ओम सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ओम शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। अथ संबंध भाष्यम. So now be careful. After telling through three Upanishadic quotations, the Brahma Sutra Vakya is substantiated. Now in that Brahma Sutra, both are said. Darshayate apicha smaryate. Darshayate apicha smaryate. So Darshayate is told three Upanishadic mantra. Smaryate, the Smriti also has to be quoted. So that we are seeing. What did the Smriti Shastra say? Ki pratyastamita bhedam yata satta matram agocharam vachasam atma samvedyam tat jnanam brahma sannitam. So Brahma is Jnana. First catch. We talk about Brahma Jnana, but Brahman itself is Jnana. That is why another Mahavakya says, Prajnanameva Brahma. है ना ऐतरेव. So Jnanam Brahma Sannitam. The Brahman is the pure Jnana. Jnanam is Brahman. Therefore, that Jnana Anubhuti is Brahma Anubhuti. Which is that Jnana? Pratyastamita Bheda Jnana. That Jnana where Bheda is Pratyastamita, totally set. Like Surya Uday, Surya Astamay. When the Surya goes to Astamaya, the setting, you don't see even a single ray of sun. हो गया, अस्तमय हो गया. So too, even a ray of difference also is not there, Bheda. That Jnana. Okay? And what is the trichotomy of the Jnana or the Bheda in Jnana? Drashta, Darshana, Drushya. Drashta sees the Drushya. Remember, how much ever solid the world is experienced through us as Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasagandha through our faculties. Basically, all of them are vrittis only. All anubhavas are vritti only. There is no world outside other than our own mind's thoughts. Be clear about it. Be subtle about this understanding. Be clear about this subtle understanding. So, therefore, the Jnata, Jnana, Jneya, Vritti is the Bheda in the Jnanam. ये तीनों निकाल दो तो प्रत्यस्तमित भेद ज्ञान हो गया. That is Brahma Sannitam. That is called Brahman. And you can see in all the three of Jnata, Jnana, Gneyam, the pure consciousness is there illuminating them. In the presence of the consciousness only, they all have their existence, intellectual understanding. But they are only vrittis, they are only kalpana. They are there as long as you do the kalpana and sustain it. There is a technique and way to transcend them. When the three thoughts are transcended, then we are the thought free pure consciousness. The thought free consciousness is called Pratyastamita Bheda Jnana. That is Brahman. That is our essential nature. We are that. I am that. Aham Brahma Asmi. Aham Prajnanam Brahma Asmi. See, दोनों महावाक्य जुड़ाओ, जोड़ दो. अहम ब्रह्म अस्मि. किम स्वरूप ब्रह्म? भेदयुक्त ब्रह्म नहीं, प्रत्यस्तमित भेद ज्ञान ब्रह्म आया. So pratyastamita bheda jnanam is Brahman. Who is saying this? The Rishi in the Purana. पौराणिक कोटेशन है. वैदिक कोटेशन, ब्रह्म सूत्र, उपनिषद कोटेशन सब हो गया. अब उस ब्रह्म सूत्र का, सूत्र के ऊपर आधारित और किस स्मृति के ऊपर आधारित वो वाक्य व्यास जी ने लिखा. Our Bhagavan Shankara is trying to quote to us, explain to us, bring that reference. So, pratyastamita bheda jnanam is Brahman. That jnanam in which jnata, jnana, jneya, bheda is not there. That jnapti swarupa is Brahman. Okay? Pratyastamita bhedam yat tat jnanam Brahma sangitam. This is the most important. This is okay, bas. Baki is only details and explanation. Second is what? Satta matram. That Jnana Rupi Brahma is again Satta Matra. Is pure existence. Okay? Pure existence is seen as various forms and names. And that is being awared by pure consciousness. That is what is the whole world. Pure existence is projected, seen with name and form. Consciousness becomes conscious of it through the thought. That is the whole world. Therefore, pratyastamita bheda jnanam is Brahma, satta matra jnanam is Brahma. That satta, that sad has not been superimposed with any stula sukshma karana, any vyashti or samashti. Stula sukshma karana, vyashti, samashti are all superimposed only on pure existence. This is not seen through the upadhis. This is understood by that intellect which is studying the Shastra, which is contemplating on the way the Shastra is guiding. What the way Shastra guides? Is existence there or not in anything or everything? Yeah. In anything or everything, where is existence? Everywhere. If everywhere is existence, then what is that thing which you are talking about? It has to be superimposed on that existence. है ना? Like a car. कार existing है कि नॉन existing है? Exist है. You know na car. Now where is the existence in the car? You have to say everywhere. Because everything you talk as existing. Tire is existing. Steering is existing. The bonnet is existing. Seat belt, engine. Everything existing. Therefore, if everywhere there is existence in the car, then where are all these parts which are grossly seen by us, touched by us, contacted by us, related by us? They all are, how much ever they are grossly experienced, still they are superimposed on the substratum existence. So much that existence is not minded, the superimposed are minded. This is a Vedantic thinking. From this thinking, this understanding ki satta matram jnapti jnana swarupam is Brahman. So pratyastapita bheda satta matra jnanam Brahma sannito. दो बातें हो गए ना. Third one is what? Agocharam vachasam. That is what just now I said. By the Vani, this pure existence cannot be spoken about or indicated because Vani talks about those things which are perceived by the faculties, felt by the mind, and sometimes conceptualized by the intellect. But this pure Paramatma is not a concept, not a feeling, not any Shabda Sparsha Rasagandha. Therefore, not a specified Anubhava like any object of the world. Now, about that Vani, how can it speak? Therefore, Agocharam Vacha. In the same way, with all Jnanendriya, Karmendriya, and Takarana, that Satta Matra Parabrahma can never be apprehended. It only can be experienced directly as our own self. इसलिए आगे वाला शब्द, व्हाट इज आगे वाला शब्द? आत्म संवेद्यम. इट इज नोन एज आवर ओन सेल्फ. आत्मा के रूप में सम्यक अनुभव के द्वारा वेद्य है. सम्यक मीन्स विदाउट डाउट. वेद्य मीन्स नोन, known as an experience. Experience as Atma means my own self. That is why the Brahma Jnana, Brahma Anubhuti. Brahma Jnana is intellectual understanding. Brahma Anubhuti is that Brahman is me Anubhuti. Undoubted. Just like now I identify with the body, man or woman, young or old, do I have any doubt? Identify with the Indriyas, I am seeing, I am listening. Is there any doubt? Identifying through the mind, I am emotional, loving or hating. Is there any doubt in me? So to identify with intellect, I know this. I don't know this. Is there any doubt? Intellectual. I know eating. I don't know cooking. Both I know. In the same way, I know I am pure Satta Matra Jnapti Swarupa. This knowing is not through means, experience. That's why Atma Samvedyam. Vedyam, it is known. Samyak Vedyam, very well it is known as an Atma. So Atma के रूप में जानना is a contradiction in terms. Therefore, अनुभव. अनुभव भी वैसे. Again there is an experience. Triputty of experiencer, experienced, experiencing. वो आ जाते हैं. इसलिए बार बार बोलना पड़ता है. It is a knowledge without the knower. It is an experience without the experiencer. Means limited knower, limited experiencer नहीं होता वहाँ. Like I am a limited knower and experiencer through upadhis. Limitation is for some time only, of one particular thing only. Like with eye, I am seeing the wall. I am a limited seer and knower of the wall through the eye. Because the wall is limited, and only when the light is there, when I gaze on that the wall jnana is there. If I focus somewhere else, the gaya. From my mind, the knowledge about this object is erased. This is that त्रिपुटी में होने वाला लिमिटेड नॉलेज. उसमें क्या है? I am that infinite consciousness. I am that. That's the meaning of Atma Samvedya. So, Pratyastamita Bheda Jnanam is Brahma. Satta Matra Jnanam is Brahma. Vachasam Agocharam Jnanam is Brahma. Atma Samvedyam Jnanam is Brahma. How clear देखो पुराण में बताया. Then they continue. Vishwa Sarupa Vairupyam Paramatmana Lakshanam. So Vishwa Sarupa Vairupyam. In the Vishwa which we see, so many things have with their own rupas. None of those rupas of the Vishwa are there in that Brahman. विश्व के रूपों का कोई भी रूप उसमें नहीं है. And what is the रूप of the Vishwa? जाति, देश, काल, द्रव्य, नाम, रूप, गुण एंड देयर मॉडिफिकेशन. ये सारे अलग अलग स्वरूप इनेम्प्टेबल है ऑफ द विश्व और ऑफ द ऑब्जेक्ट्स ऑफ द विश्व. वैरूप्यम. इन दैट ब्रह्मन नन ऑफ दीज थिंग्स आर देयर. विश्व स्वरूप मीन्स लक्षण. विश्व के लक्षण कोई ब्रह्म में नहीं है. तो ये जाति है, उनको जाति नहीं है। ये एक देश में है, उसमें देश ही नहीं है। एक काल में होता है, उसमें काल ही नहीं होता है। इसमें रूप नाम है, उसमें रूप नाम नहीं। इसमें गुण है, इसमें गुण नहीं है। और इसमें रूप नाम और गुणों का परिवर्तन होता है, और वो है ही नहीं है, उसमें परिवर्तन कैसा होगा? दैट्स द मीनिंग ऑफ विश्वस्वरूप वैरूप्यम लक्षणम परमात्मनः। मीन्स, टू से इन ए सिंपल लेमैन्स लैंग्वेज, ये सारा जगत आप जिस तरह है देख रहे हो, वैसा है नहीं। वो थोड़ा हटकर है, अलग है बस। इन सब से पूरा हटकर है। नॉट इवन वन थिंग ऑफ दिस मैचेस विथ दैट। विश्व स्वरूप वैरूप्य मीन्स जगत के जो भी लक्षण है वो उसमें नहीं है। जगत का लक्षण इज दिस, लाइक ए बॉटल, इट्स अ रूप, इट्स ए नाम, it is born from plastic, and it has a guna, a quality of it, and it's a functionality in it, a purpose in it, and it has a janma, jara, roga, and mrityu, isn't it? In this, so many lakshanas are there in the vastu. Parabrahma ऐसा नहीं है। सर्व ऐसे जगत में एक एक चीज जो भी ले लो, उनमें जो लक्षण है वो परमात्मा में नहीं है। पूरा जगत को ले लो, वो पूरा जगत का सृष्टि स्थिति लय आदि लक्षण, स्थूल सूक्ष्म कारण आदि लक्षण, व्यष्टि समष्टि आदि लक्षण, in him they are not there. He cannot be calculated or seen in this any of the form. He is only ज्ञान स्वरूप। ऊपर जो बताया है सत्ता स्वरूप ज्ञान, प्रत्यस्तवेद भेदम यत् सत्ता मात्रम अगोचरम वचसाम आत्मसंवेद्यम तज्ज्ञानम ब्रह्म संगीतम विश्वस्वरूप वैरूप्यम लक्षणम परमात्मनः। ये है पुराण का कोटेशन। हैविंग सेड सो, इत्यादि एटसेट्रा श्रुति स्मृति उपन्यास मुखेन, थ्रू द माउथ ऑफ श्रुति एंड स्मृति, प्रत्यस्तमित भेदमेव ब्रह्म। Brahman is he in whom none of the Vedas are there. The Vedarahitya sthiti is called Kaivalya sthiti. Kaivalya means Kevala. Kevala means that and that and that and that alone. Like Kevala Jala. You have not added any color or taste in it. Kevala rice. You have not added dal or sabji to that. Only rice and rice and rice alone. That's Kevalatva is called as Pratyastamita Bheda. And what is Bheda? Don't ask again. Vedas are Vijatiya Bheda, Sajatiya Bheda, Swagata Bheda. One set of Vedas. Other is what? Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara Bheda. Another set of Vedas. Then Vyashti, Samashti, another Bheda. Then Stula, Sukshma, Karana, another Bheda. So to Jagrat, Sapna, Sushupti, Avastha Bheda. So Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara Bheda, विजातीय सजातीय स्वगत भेद, स्थूल सूक्ष्म कारण भेद, व्यष्टि समष्टि भेद, all of them are superimposed only on the bheda rahita kevala parambrahma. He is our goal to be identified with. In that only the dukkha that are happening because of the bheda completely end. That's why wherever is bheda, there bhaya and dukkha and samsara. Bheda means dvitiya. Dvitiyadvai bhayam bhavati. You know, यदा हि एव एष उदरम अंतरम कुरुते अथ तस्य भयम भवति. Isn't it? In Taittiriya we have seen exhaustively. Only in the Bhedarahita Kevala Sthiti there is no Bhaya. Bhaya only is Dukkha. Dukkha only is Samsara. That's why Moksha Sthiti is called as Abhaya Sthiti. Because there is no Bhaya. Why? There is nobody other than me. There is nobody other than me to frighten. That is the Bhaya from outside. Nor there is Bhaya within myself that I get reduced, I get modified, I get changed, I die. ये अंदर के भय है। दूसरे मुझे मारेंगे करके दूसरों से भय, मैं खुद मरूंगा करके मेरे से भय। न दूसरे कोई मारते हैं न खुद मरता हूं। इसलिए न हंता चेन मन्यते हंतुम, हतश्चेन मन्यते हतम, उभौ तौ न विजानीतः, न अयम हंति न हन्यते। उपनिषदिक मंत्र क्लियर। तो इत्यादि श्रुति स्मृति उपन्यास मुखे न प्रत्यस्तमित भेदमेव ब्रह्म इति उपपाद्य। उपपत्ति मीन्स द फाइनल कंक्लूजन अराइव्ड एट। After this way, finally arriving at conclusion, we attend. Still, two things. One, for the seen multiple world, an answer has to be given to the disciple. Second, from the stage where we are now, to reach to this Brahma Sthiti, we need the help of something to travel. Okay? Answering the seen multiplicity world and giving support for us to reach to that state. Is it for these two purposes the Shruti Mata accepts not only this Nirvishesha Nirguna Brahma, but Vishesha Yukta Brahma, whom we call as Hiranyagarbha or Ishvara or Aneka Devata Gana. ब्रह्मा विष्णु जो भी है वो कौन है? उपाधि युक्त ब्रह्मा फॉर द सेक ऑफ उपासना. Therefore, what is the whole discussion happening in this context? One, the Guru wants to tell about Brahma, moksha hetu, and we identify with it. Second, the disciples are seeing the world and they need also. For this sake, Upanishad only, Brahma Sutra only, it accepted the Sa Ishvara or Savishesha Ishvara. Nirguna Brahma, Saguna Ishvara. Saguna Ishvara ultimate नहीं है, वो कारण ब्रह्म है, उनका हेल्प लेना चाहिए. He will help us for the comfort and happiness here, comfort and happiness there, and he alone will help us by his expression of through as Guru and Shastra to take us to the Nirguna Brahma. Nirguna Brahma alone is ultimate. Nirvishesha Brahma alone is ultimate. Savishesha is for Upasana. In the Savishesha Brahma, again so many varieties, all of them are for sadhana. Anything when you take it for the samsara bhoga, you become samsari. Luckily, that's what we discussed in our introductory common sense thought. Therefore, the total thought is what? In whatever the way this world is useful for me to reach to the Brahmanubhuti, that way the world has to be used and dropped. इसलिए ईश्वर और गुरु और शास्त्र ये तीनों ही इस जगत में है जो हमको ब्रह्म तक पहुंचाते. इसलिए इन तीनों को ही पकड़ना. अदर देन दीज थ्री, एनीथिंग अदर, द डेमीगॉड्स और द अदर ह्यूमन बीइंग्स ऑफ द वर्ल्ड और द ऑब्जेक्ट, दे ऑल मेक अस संसारी. इसलिए गुरु से शास्त्र पढ़कर ईश्वर उपासना करके ईश्वर की कृपा से प्रयत्न में ध्यान में अहम ब्रह्मास्मि को जानना है. सो अतएव च उपमा सूर्यकादिवत इति यतएव. now the next four lines na summarizing the entire study of last 40-50 pages, in which finally what is a concluding intellectual understanding about Brahman whom we have to experience will be told. Then again, the final reconciliation regarding this Saguna Ishvara also for the satisfaction of the Jiva or the Sadhaka or the Shishya or the Shrota is given. यार डर मत, तुम्हारा ईश्वर है बट वो अल्टीमेट नहीं, ब्रह्म अल्टीमेट. अब देखो डर मत कह रहा का अर्थ क्या हुआ? यू आर ऑलरेडी डर रहे हो ईश्वर को लेकर के. तुम अपने आप से नहीं डर रहे हो, तो ईश्वर से डर रहे हो. काहे का कि पता नहीं ईश्वर अगर मेरे से खींचे लिया जाएगा तो. If he is taken away from me is a fear you have. So therefore, the Ishvara is giving fear. Ishvara is not giving fear. Ishvara is other than you. That bhavana is giving fear. Recognize that Ishvara as your own self. There is no dar. Because you don't cease to exist. You are always there. Even with Ishvara, there is a Maya because, or when you look at him or take him as Anatma. Because वो आएंगे जाएंगे हमेशा नहीं रहेंगे. But Atma Rupi Ishvara called Brahman is always with us. There is no Bhaya with it. They're very beautiful, subtler, intellectual inquiries. थक जाने तक ये सब करना, सो जाना है थक गए उठना, फिर से इन्हीं का विचार करना. The more we are in the contemplation of the absolute truth, the more we are true spiritual sadhakas. Wherever we tired, get exhausted, take the Saguna Sakara Ishvara, do his upasana. वो भी नहीं कर पाते, take the help of yoga, do the vritti nirodha. That also not able to do, be in the world doing karma yoga. Other than this, yoga marga is a sadhaka. Let us not enter into yoga marga to become samsari. So therefore, what we started, what we ended, total both are connected. Tomorrow we'll continue this. Thank you. Om 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 ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः परमशिभ्यो नमः परब्रह्मणे नमः श्रुतिमात्रे नमः ओम तत्सत् ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु. Thank you, respected friends.